Hello everyone, it is Lou from Milk and Cookies Nursery, and today I thought I would show you how I weight my reborns. The kit I'm using today is Zendrick by Dawn McLeod, and at the moment you can see I am filling up one of the legs. I use fine glass beads and I use a funnel to help me pour in the fine glass beads. Here you can see I'm showing you that I fill up to about just above the knee, and there you go, you can have a look inside there. And then all I do is I fill up basically the gap with polyfiber filling. It's just stuffing, and I try not to over stuff them, because if you do that, then it tends to misshapen the vinyl, and it just doesn't look good. It's just enough really just to top it off, and just seal it off. So what I'll probably do through some parts of the video is I'll just speed it up, so we can get to the next bit, and then you can see what happens. So now I'm starting on the arms, and it's basically filled in exactly the same way. There I've just shown you the funnel that I'm using. You can get them from pretty much anywhere. I think I got mine from Amazon. It's only like £1 or something. So it's basically the same procedure, filling it up to just over like the crease of the elbow, and I think I'll show you that in a minute. And tapping it again just to get it down into the hands. So there you go. See, I'm just showing you whereabouts I've filled it. So it's just over the bend of the elbow, and then again I'm just going to top it up with the fibre fill. And here we're moving on to filling the body. I use these stockings. You can get them from any store really. I get mine from, well, I'm in the UK, so I get mine from Wilko's, and they're really cheap. They're just knee-high tights or stockings. And I'm using glass beads to fill up the body. If I'd used the fine glass beads, it wouldn't have worked very well. It just would have seeped right out through the stocking. So I use the normal glass beads for this. And I used to be a little bit perfect with my weighting and trying to get it spot on and everything, and then I just realised it was I guess stressing me out a little bit, just trying to get the perfect weight and everything. So now what I do is I do roughly what I feel will fit in the body. And here I realised I've done this. There's too much. There's far too much there. So I'm going to empty some out. I use this tin. You could use a jar if you wanted to, but I just found the tin is easier because I can just put the stocking inside and then just flap over the top, so it wraps round, and then it just saves like fiddling around with the stocking and everything like that, and it just makes it easy to fill basically. So I think this time I'm quite happy with with how much I've put in. I usually kind of I lay it out like this, and just determine you know, whether it's going to fill out the body. But obviously with the weight and everything, once I tie it off and it's sitting inside the body, it will slouch, and that's what I want. I want it to be kind of a little bit down towards the bum and the back area, just so when you're you know, when you've got the baby put together and everything, you can like feel like you're patting their back and everything. So I try to what I do is tie a knot in, as you can see, and then I double it over, and then if there's enough, then I double it over again. It's just extra protection, really. And then I'm just checking just to see if it's still going to be kind of like flexible, I guess. It'll still be, you know, be able to move and everything like that. So, and what I like to do next is I like to attach the legs before I slide the stocking inside the body. I don't do them up super tight, and I'm going to show you here that I do it up enough so that it's not going to, so the limbs aren't going to fall off, basically. They do move around. You can move the limbs about, and that's because I think I'm showing you the same thing there. Yeah, you can move the limbs because I put a little bit of, some people use, oh gosh, it slips my mind. But anyway, I use just a bit of gloss inside the flange there, and then it makes it easier for it to move. So there I use nail scissors to cut the ends off, because I find that they get as close as possible to the end. And it just leaves a cleaner cut, I find. I use these tweezers, I think they're eyebrow pluckers or something like that, but I never use them for eyebrow plucking, but I've just found that these are nicer to use. So what I'm trying to do there is I'm trying to tuck that little plastic tab from the cable tie. I tuck it inside just the casing, and I just find that means that you're not going to, because you know sometimes the ends of those cable ties can be quite sharp, so I like to tuck them under. It can be a little bit fiddly to do, I mean not everybody does it, but I like to do it, and it is really easy. You know, if you want to re-weight your reborns, any of your reborns that you get from me, it's really easy to be able to get hold of it. I don't push it all the way around, I just push it enough so it's not gonna catch your hands or anything like that, or snag on anything, or you know, like accidentally, like I don't know, scrape the vinyl, or you know, like the other limbs or whatever. So there you go. So you can see that how I've tucked it under there. It is fairly straightforward anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the other leg now, and then I'll speed this up until we get to that bit. Okay, and on to the body. Here I'm taking, just making some little balls of the fibre fill, and what I like to do is just roll them up a little bit, and what I'm going to do is I just put them inside at the bottom for the little tushy. So like for each little bum cheek there, I just like to put it down there. I just think that it fills it out a little bit more. Although you know the stocking with the glass beads will probably go down there, but I just like to do that anyway. And then when I do put the body in, it kind of like pushes it down, so it just gives like a little bit of a shape, I suppose, to the little bum. So what I'm doing here is I'm just removing the cable tie, because sometimes with the smaller bodies, with the cable tie attached, it can be quite difficult to get your hand down inside the body to you know, just to maneuver bits and pieces about. So here we go. I'm just putting the main part in, I guess. So what I've done, just to make things easier, just squeezed like a little, just made like a ball at the end, and then the rest will just, gravity will just find its way in there. So I'm just stuffing it in there, giving it a good poke around. There we go, and in it goes. So I'm quite happy with the way it's filled out there. And obviously there's a gap above, which I will fill up with fibre fill. So I'm just grabbing some now. What I usually find is I put a little bit in and just fill out like the chest area a bit. And then sometimes when I end up putting the head on, I can sometimes end up taking some of it out. It all depends like how much flop I want on the baby. I do like my babies quite floppy, so just so they're easier to pose, and I don't know, I just feel like they're more realistic that way. So I'm going to stuff, because I've stuffed like the front part in, I'm just putting some in the back now. And then what I would do is I would put the limbs on next, which hopefully I'm going to get around to doing. So here I'm popping the arms on, and I am literally doing it in exactly the same way I did the legs. So I will speed this up for you and get to the best part, which is attaching the head. So now on to the best bit, which is popping Zendrik's head on. There he is. I've got cling film on his head because I have rooted him and I didn't want to mess up his hair while I'm doing this. I think I'm putting more, I think I'm putting a little bit more in, or I'm taking some out. Oh, I think I took some out. Yes, I did. I took some out. I think I tried his head on the body and I felt like there was a little bit too much stuffing in there, so I took some out. I've got like, this is just like a piece of satin that I sometimes use to pop the head down. If I didn't have cling film, that's what it would go on. I don't know what I'm using both here, but I am. So I've got another stocking here, and what I do is I pop that inside the head. And then I just wrap that around the top bit just so it's easier to put the filling in. For the head I use steel balls, and they're very small steel balls, which I'll show you now. It just adds a little bit more weight, makes it a little bit more heavier. I just like the way it feels, and you can't hear them rattling around or anything like that. So it's not like an annoyance or anything like that. I just prefer the way it feels, and it adds a lot more weight than say the fine glass beads or the glass beads would do, and then it doesn't fill up too much space of the head and keeps the weight. I like to put the weight, or aim for the weight to be towards the back of the head, and with the steel balls it's easier to put them in there, so there's not so many in there. I'm using the funnel there because it's just a lot easier, and I'm basically just you know, guessing how much weight. After, you know, waiting so many babies now, I kind of have a good idea of how heavy I'd want like the head to be, and I'm quite happy with the way that is. So what I would do now is tie off the stocking I just pull it up and then tie it off. I think I was showing you there that the magnet slipped down, but that's no big thing because I'll be able to I'll pop it back in at some point after I've done the beads here. So I will tie this off here, and then I usually cut it, and then I can reuse the same piece of stocking again. It saves just throwing it away, really. So all I'm doing here now is I'm just filling up the rest of his head now with the fibre fill. I try not to overfill this again because it can misshapen the kit and just make them look really odd if you stuff too much up in there. So I'm just putting enough in there so the steel balls will stay in place. And so that, you know, if you do, you know, like you feel like squish the sides of the cheeks or the top of the temples or anything, you know, it's not going to be really squishy. It's going to not be firm, but it's going to be just perfect, basically, and just the way I like it. So I'm just going to speed this up again. Okay, and here we are to put finally putting his head on. I put it on loosely at the moment, and I just feel how it feels with his body, if it can move around and everything, and if I feel like maybe some needs to come out, or if I need to put a little bit more in. And there you go, I decided to put a little bit more in just to fill it out a little bit. Sometimes you can't tell until you get the weight of the head. And I think I am ready now to pop that on, and I think I'm going to have another squish just to feel if it's all right. And I'm finally putting the head on. I'm happy with the body. I'm going to do it up now, and again I'm going to do this exactly the same thing with the zip tie as I did with all of the limbs. And here I'm having a final check just to see if he moves well, his head moves well, and his body does. And that's it. That is our completed weighted baby. I hope you've enjoyed watching the video. If you want to see more, then please subscribe and comment below if you want me to do a few more videos just like this. Bye!